السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله.
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وخير الهدى هدى محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. Verily all the praise and certainly all of the magnification and all of our dedication, it should be only for Allah and Allah alone. And I publicly, I inwardly, and I outwardly declare and attest and profess La ma'bud bihaqqin illallah ta'ala. There is nothing, no object, no deity, no essence, no entity that's worthy of worship except for Allah Jalla fi'ula. And I bear witness that Al-Mustafa, Al-Amin, As-Sadiq, Wal-Masduq, Muhammad ibn Abdullah, salawatullahi wa salam alayhi, is the last and final messengers to guide mankind, you and me, to the gardens of the Jannah. Ameen. The power of words and sentences. On Ramadan al-Yawm, we're going to talk about the power of words and sentences. Can you hear me? Listen to me. Can you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Do you understand the flows that are coming out of my mouth? What did he say? What did he say? The power of words and sentences, brothers and sisters, is a tremendous thing. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth, ya ikhwan? Blah, blah, blah. Da, da, da. Ga, ga, ga. This is gibberish, ya ikhwan. It means absolutely nothing. La, 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 la. It means absolutely nothing, ya ikhwan. LMNOP, LMNOP, LMNOP. What does that mean? It means nothing. Alif Bata, Alif Bata, Alif Bata. It means absolutely nothing. I don't understand anything. Ya ikhwan, we have mantras, we have formulations or formulas, we have slogans, we have mottos, we have rhymes, we have chants, we have odes, we have songs of praise, we have expressions, we have jingles, we have ad-libs, we have poems, we have couplets, we have odds and we have meters. Assalamu alaikum. Brother, what does that mean? Hi. What is the power of words, ya ikhwan? In society, ya ikhwan, there are some sentences that people have spent millions and billions of dollars to put in the media. Here's a few. Just do it. Just do it. Nike has the slogan, just do it. Just do what? Finger licking good. KFC. This is in the society, ya ikhwan. Harvey's makes a hamburger a beautiful thing. These are things that we grew up here. Ba 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 ba. I'm loving it. This is McDonald's. The best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup. Plop, plop, fizz, fizz. Oh, what a relief it is. This is Alka-Seltzer. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Nationwide is on your side. What would you do for a Klondike bar? Millions and billions of dollars are spent to put these sentences in the mass media, ya ikhwan. Advertising dunya, ya ikhwan. They're magically delicious, Lucky Charms. But there came, ya ikhwan, in the time more than 1400 plus years ago, there came a statement that shook Arabia. La ilaha illallah. These words were words, ya ikhwan, to the Arab at that time. It caused confusion, brothers. It caused problems, brothers. What we're talking about today in Arabic language is something called a jumla mufida, a beneficial sentence, ya ikhwan. It has deep layered meaning, a concept that is complex but clear and apparent simply. So for instance, ya ikhwan, the dog ran down the road. So what? The cat is on the roof. So what? These are sentences. But this statement, La ilaha illallah, as you see, I was moving my lips. I can do without moving my lips. La ilaha illallah. It's a powerful statement. But it has meaning, ya ikhwan, ya akhawat. It's not something that you just say it. This statement, ya ikhwan, came to make haq and batil fight, ya ikhwan. There's nothing worthy of worship except for Allah. So we find, my dear brothers, that words have conquered minds. Words have conquered lands and resources, morals and assets and property and wealth, gold, silver, diamonds, lumber, fish, cobalt, lithium, nickel, graphite. It's called, ya ikhwan, politics. And those that like politics, they know how to use some beautiful words, ya ikhwan. If unfortunately you were to go to court, ya ikhwan, they would bury you in a bunch of papers where it looks like it's the English language, but rather, ya ikhwan, they bury you in something called legalese, which is a language that me and you, we can't understand because we're not lawyers, ya ikhwan. So the words are powerful, ya ikhwan. And this word, La ilaha illallah, it transformed the society, ya ikhwan. And there's another word the Muslims used to have, and we need to embrace it back. The word, La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. I have been hearing the Muslims for the last year, and almost 33 years since I became a Muslim, complain about the travesties and all the problems in the world. But very rarely do I hear the Muslims say, La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. There is no capability. There is no true power except Allah. This Jumla Mafida ya ikhwan, these words, they have a meaning. They used to mean something. Assalamu alaikum does not mean hi, ya ikhwan. It has a deep meaning that's supposed to penetrate your heart and cause brotherhood and love, my dear brothers. The Arabs in the time of the Prophet ﷺ were lost in total decadence, degradation, debasement. They are the lowest of the low until Allah sent them a Nabi ﷺ. The Arabs at the time of the Prophet ﷺ used to manufacture with their own hands idols that they worshipped. And even one man made an idol out of dates, and then when he became hungry, he ate his so-called idol. Ya ikhwan, la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Ya ikhwan, they used to bury their daughters. This is how low the society of the Arab reached at one time. That even used to take a little blow stick and poke the cow and drink the blood of the cow, thinking it would give them power, ya ikhwan. Many things from Jahiliyyah, the Arabs before Islam were involved with, until Muhammad ﷺ came with that statement. La ilaha illallah, and adjoined to that, which we brought the last 2 months, Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. My dear brothers, my dear sisters, the statement, it turned the society upside down. It separated families. It separated tribes. It separated father from son, mother from daughter. It caused internal strife. It caused wars. It caused boycotts and embargoes. This simple statement, La ilaha illallah. We say it on our tongue, but we really don't understand what it means, ya ikhwan. The Meccan Arabs, they couldn't say it, those that disbelieved in it. And they couldn't, ya ikhwan, they couldn't accept this statement. Why is that, ya ikhwan? Why couldn't the Arab at that time in Mecca accept that statement, La ilaha illallah? Because, ya ikhwan, having other gods in the Kaaba was a business, ya ikhwan. They had so many gods in the Kaaba. Ya ikhwan, it became a big business. And different tribes worship different so-called idols and gods that they manufactured. It was a money thing, ya ikhwan, for the people to come to the Kaaba Sharif and to worship these other gods. And now Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam came and he said, get rid of all the gods. La ilaha illallah. They didn't want to hear none of that, ya ikhwan. So when we look at it, my dear brothers, and one of the things as a new Muslim, having to learn, ya ikhwan, and I was told from the time that I became a Muslim, you will never learn the Arabic language, brother. Now anybody who tells me I can't do something if they know me before Jahiliyyah, I'm going to try my best to prove them wrong, but I want to prove myself right. When we look at the situation, my dear brothers, Arabic, ya ikhwan, understanding what is a Jumla Mufida, understanding the complexities of the Arabic language, we find, ya ikhwan, that there is something called a Jumla Ismiya and a Jumla Fi'liya, a nominal sentence and a verbal sentence when you start to break down the grammar of the Arabic language. And from them, ya ikhwan, the Jumla Islamiyya, Mubtada and Khabar. It has a subject and a predicate. So there's a lost science, ya ikhwan. While I was in Morocco, I was sitting with my Ustada, Farah, and that's what we did for every ayah that she brought up. I had to make the grammatical inclination for every single word in the Quran. So from that, ya ikhwan, the Jumla Fi'liya, it is a fi'l, a fa'il, and a maf'ul bih. We need to understand the Arabic language to get the understanding, the essence, to understand La ilaha illallah. Also, this combined ya ikhwan, of a harf, a fi'l, and an ism. Knowing that the English language, the Urdu language, the Spanish language, all these other languages are good, but the Arabic language is so articulate. It is so exact and on the money, ya ikhwan. So there is a science, ya ikhwan. And I had a chance in my life to meet someone close to me who's actually from what they call the Nahwiyin, or the Nuhat, an Arabic grammarian with a PhD in the Arabic language. I got a chance to meet a sheikh of that nature, where he memorized, ya ikhwan, 1,000 lines of Alafiyya, ya ikhwan, and he has his PhD in this, showing the importance of the Arabic language. So when we look at this, ya ikhwan, and this is something, as a new Muslim, I had to learn it. And I'm encouraging my brothers and sisters to learn this, because really, if you really want to understand the meaning of La ilaha illallah, and we've tested thousands of Muslims, thousands of them. Brother, sister, what does La ilaha illallah mean? There is no God but God. And no, that's not it. There is no God but Allah. No, and that's not it. There's nothing worthy of worship except for Allah. And that's it. It's talking about ifradullahi bi ibadatillahi wahda. So yeah, well, when it comes to La, the scholars of grammar, and this is really technical, brothers, showing you how ignorant all of us are. I just learned this. La starts off first, an-nafiyatul jins, harfu mabni ala sukun, la muhanna laha min al-i'rab. This is the grammatical breakdown of just La. And there is the La an-nahiya and the La an-nafiya. Many Muslims, they don't know which one it is. We need to know. Because when the usage of the Quranic Arabic has a special code to it, that even now they've just been starting to use ChatGPT to try to come up with that challenge in the Quran. Can you make an ayah, even if it's a short ayah? So people have been trying that. But the grammatical structure is not working for them, ya ikhwan. It's not. Ilaha. Al-ismu la nafi lil-jins mabni ala fath في محل النصب يا اخوان معبود بحق يا اخوان. This is detailed sciences, my dear brothers and sisters. That is a science that is lost to the Muslim. It's not appreciated when we have someone who is on a very high level of the Arabic language, who is fasih. People mock them. Even the Arabs mock somebody who speaks a very high level of Arabic, calling him an ancient person, or he speaks medieval Arabic. Ya ikhwan. I've seen this with my eyes. إلا حرف الحصر المبني على السكون لا محل لها من الإعراب. يا إخوان. Then you have Allah, لفظ الجلالة بدون المرفوع من الضمير المستتر. يا إخوان معه بالحق معبود هو يا إخوان. So it goes into great detail. So this statement that I had to say before I came into Islam, and you brothers and sisters have been saying since the time that you're young, أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمد رسول الله. It has its conditions, ya ikhwan. And ya ikhwan, in the Quran, Allah Ta'ala mentioned many ayat. We don't have time to go into all. Just talking about the Shahada. Just talking about the importance of Shahada, ya ikhwan. I found lots of ayats talking about it. We say these words, but we don't realize what Allah has said in the Quran. From amongst the ayat, وقال الله تعالى, Allah, He went on to say, وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ بِشَهَادَتِهِمْ قَائِمُونَ. And those who are honest in their testimony and they stand on business, Yahweh. You say La ilaha illallah with your mouth, but at the same time, ya ikhwan, how is it possible that me as a new Muslim, I travel to the land of the Muslims, I won't mention where, and I've seen with my own eyes Muslims making sujood to the grave of Fulan wa Alan, so-called holy, pious people. In Arabic they call it taqdeesul rijal, noble, holy people. Did they not understand Iyyaka na'budu wa Iyyaka nasta'in? Arabic has messages in it, but you have to study the language to really, really understand how powerful it is, Yahweh. I have read the Quran in English from cover to cover from the time before I became a Muslim. But it is not the same when I read it from Arabic from cover to cover, ya ikhwan. It had a different effect on me. وَقَالَ اللَّهُ تَعَالَى in the ayah before that, وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ لِأَمَانَتِهِمْ وَأَهْدِيهِمْ رَعُونَ. Ya Ikhwan, this is serious stuff. The faithful are those who are true in their trust and their covenants. We made a covenant to Allah Rabbul Izzah in Surah Al-A'raf, where Allah put us all on a plane and He said, am I not your Lord? And all of us said, yes. Yes. Ya Ikhwan, this is a very serious statement. And we find now that there's people, and I've seen them online, say, I don't even know if there is an Allah, and His name is Muhammad. I don't even know if Muhammad lived, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Can you imagine, ya Ikhwan? And the Muslims that are leading the deen, they have more faith in Batman and Superman and the Hulk and the Avengers and all these other multi-billion-dollar businesses that are spent, ya Ikhwan, creating these figment of imagination of these characters, ya Ikhwan. But the Prophet ﷺ and his companions, they lived La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. For us, ya Ikhwan, many of us, we're just doing lip service. Wa la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Alhamdulillah. حمد كثير طيبا مباركا فيه كما يحب ربنا ويرضى. I was with some Arabic speaking Muslim brothers yesterday in a masjid in Mississauga, and they were discussing all the problems of the Ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This problem and that problem and what's happening in this country and what's happening with this leader and so on and so forth. And I said to the brothers, well, what's the solution? And everyone was like, because I asked them a question. Okay, all these things happening, we're arguing, and we're fighting, and we're upset. We have the right to be upset. What's the solution? And I said, how about if we go back to the basics? Like the Sahaba, that they went to. They first learned, La ilaha illallah. The brother said, brother, but you know, don't get into all this stuff, brother. I said, this is where the Prophet ﷺ started his da'wah in Mecca, Mukarramah, ya Ikhwan. He started with this statement. So we find, ya Ikhwan, that in this society, and this is a deep concept, ya Ikhwan, I first learned about it. Many people, they say they have a God or they don't have a God. Even those that don't believe in God, they have a God, ya Ikhwan. People that are secular, their G-O-D, it might be gold, it might be oil, it might be drugs, or it might be diamonds. Because this is what's in the Muslim lands below. The Muslim lands is filled with gold, oil, drugs, and diamonds, ya Ikhwan. So they worship the God of G-O-D, ya Ikhwan. But we as Muslims, we haven't learned the meaning of La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. So ya Ikhwan, when we look at the situation, the sentence that changed the world, there is nothing worthy of worship except for Allah, and Muhammad is His messenger. It needs to be unpacked, my brothers. We need to go back to the basic kindergarten, because you'll be shocked, ya Ikhwan. You'll be shocked. وقال الله تعالى أرأيت من اتخذ إلهه هواه أفأنت تكون عليه وكيلا. Have you not seen those who have taken their desires as gods besides Allah? Then would you be responsible? Muhammad said. So we find, ya Ikhwan, that the Muslims, they really believe that only economics and only, ya Ikhwan, politics and only things of that nature will get us back on track. The Prophet ﷺ didn't have none of that when he started out. He came with La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah, my dear brothers and sisters. Ya Ikhwan, many of the Muslims have been selling their souls for a little bit of green. Many Muslims have gotten so involved in politics that we don't even see them in the masjid anymore. We don't even see them in the masjid anymore. So many Muslims, ya Ikhwan, all they worry about is resources, 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 resources. The first resource, ya Ikhwan, is Allah Rabbul Izzah, ya Ikhwan. We need to plug into Allah. We find, ya Ikhwan, that if you look at the world, we find that the world that practices the religion of G-O-D, gold, oil, drugs, and diamonds, we find that these people have pillaged, marauded, ransacked, desecrated, desolate, raided, robbed, sacked, confiscated, appropriated, pinched, all for worldly gain, my dear brothers and sisters. The meaning of life is there's nothing worthy of worship except for Allah. La ma'bud bihaqqin illallah. We were not created for anything else, my dear brothers. Sure, you can have your job and your occupation. Ya ikhwan, your job that you're supposed to do is to worship Allah. وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ وَمَا أُمِرُوا إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ مُخْلِصِينَ لَهُ الدِّينَ. We're meant to worship Allah, ya ikhwan. The dunya, it has a very magnetic pull, my brothers. As recently my cousins asked me after 33 years of being Muslim, why don't you just come and see what we're doing in the clubs? We're making big money now, cuz. Come on back, man. And I was the one who was teaching them how to party before Islam, ya ikhwan. And it amazes me, ya ikhwan, it really does. As a Muslim who left that lifestyle, that you look online on TikTok, you look online on Instagram and on Facebook, and you see that the Muslims want to throw a good party in the land of the Muslims. They want to throw a good party. Ya ikhwan, I came from that environment where I grew up with 8 DJs, and all of my friends, that's what we used to do. We used to party before Islam, ya ikhwan. The Muslim is not happy worshiping Allah. The Muslim is not happy with it. They want something extra. It's clear, ya ikhwan. And it's not just hitting any particular ethnicity, it's hitting all the Muslims, my dear brothers and sisters. So we come to the end, my dear brothers. I've been asked by the leadership. There's a brother named Muhammad Naeem Suri. He's very sick in the hospital. He only has, they say, a few days to live. So we ask Allah Azza wa Jal to help all the Muslims in all the lands, whether they're black or white, whether they speak Arabic or not, whether their skin is dark or their skin is white or their skin is brown. We ask Allah to help all the Muslims, to save the Muslims, to make the Muslims strong, to make the Muslims unite, to make the Muslims love La ilaha illa Muhammad sallallahu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa sallallahu ala Ibrahim wa ala Ibrahim. My dear brothers, La ilaha illallah is not a simple thing, but it is a simple thing. We need to study it, as the Quran is filled with the concept of a tawheed. With that, وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين.